Hello, my name is Caroline Nettle and this is an angel reading for July 2019, and just to say that I usually pull one card per week for what's coming ahead in the month, and before even I start I'm being told that there are some really big changes coming, and I think I said that in June. I'm really sorry, but sometimes I don't remember what I've said in the reading, but I suppose I could go back and look at the video. But I'm feeling that this is what I'm experiencing in my own life and watching in really dear friends' life, is that huge feelings are coming up around old issues possibly, or what it is that's left in the cupboard to look at. So if you're brand new on the self-inquiry journey, you may find this month, 2, 3, 4, 5, however long it takes, months really challenging as you're faced with what it is you came to clear out or look at or process or learn this lifetime. If, like me, you feel like you've been on the journey forever, my complete feeling is that this is, I keep saying it like this, the last hurrah. So it's a big hurrah, and it's something that's going to take some time to work through, but it's shown itself to me so clearly that I know what it is I need to do, and it feels almost like, and therefore it will move through relatively easily compared to, say, if I'd have started working on this 20 years ago. So we're all being asked to work on whatever it is we came here to look at. And I just am being told that, we just need to take one foot and put it in front of the other and walk forward. And if we all do this, then the planet will benefit. And I feel that I've always felt, as I heal myself, I'm healing the planet, as we all heal, because there is only me. And there is only you, whoever's watching this video, and there is only our journey that we can go on, which I hope makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to pull four cards, and as I'm using Tony Carmine Salerno, some of you know, he has, some of his pictures have ladies with very few clothes on, so there's one of them. So what's the third one? Isn't that interesting? So I won't be showing those. But the rest of them, yeah, they are decent, just because of YouTube's regulations. So, starting then on the reading for July 2019, starting on Monday next week. I know that because it's my birthday. So, God of the Art, the artist within, God of the Arts, the artist within you is about to emerge. And it's interesting because I'm getting a lot of pressure on my third eye, so that's the that's where we receive all our intuitive hits, that's where we see things that aren't there. But I remember very early on in my journey somebody saying to me, close your eyes and see a red front door. I can't speak today. And if you can close your eyes and see a red front door that's not in front of you, that's clairvoyance. So that's seeing something that's not there. So listen and see if you can't hum along or sing along in your head to the tune of Hey Jude. Of course, now everyone will be thinking of Hey Jude. Well, that's clairaudience. So you're hearing something that's not there. And it's like these are muscles that can be exercised, and anyone can learn how to utilize this gift. But this message for the first week in July, it's like we're being encouraged to let go of all our inhibitions. Remember when you were really small and somebody gave you a paint pot and some wallpaper and you... I remember doing that very clearly. So really creating something that doesn't exist already. So there's two sides to creativity. One is to be more creative, so to birth projects, to think of good ideas, to work around problems, to create solutions. The other one is to actually physically create something. So that's like painting, drawing, baking, stonemasonry. There's all sorts of different ways of being creative to do with the arts. But what I'm hearing here is it's about letting go of all inhibitions. It's about really opening up. And I'm just seeing an explosion of colour and fun. I mean, fun. So the first week in July, now I know that the temperature in Europe is predicted to be astronomically high, and in England here we have rain, surprisingly. And, you know, some of the US is underwater, etc., etc. So I know that there's lots of hardship on the planet due to what's happening with our climate. But, or rather, and we are being asked to be creative. So we're being asked to play with colour, but we're also asked to really start coming up with some solutions to the problems that we see in the world around us. Because after all, we are a very clever, adaptive animal, and we are very, very good at working together in community and getting things changed. And the word I want to use there is adaptive. I'm hearing adaption is one. Adaption. Can't think of the word. Anyway, being adaptive is one of our best qualities, and we are going to need that going forward. So, the first week of July, we are being creative in both artistic and colourful ways, but also thinking about, you know, the bigger problem outside of ourselves that's going on our planet. Then, goddess of the sacred path, let go of logic and trust your intuition. I really cannot speak today. So, I think this card is following on from the being creative card. And it's interesting that they were telling me to talk about clairvoyance and clairaudience, because very often when we look at the status quo, what is, for example, if I have no money in my bank and I look at my bank account, that will make me depressed because there is no money there, and I'm aware that there's no money there. And it's very difficult from that place to imagine that it's going to be full to the brim of money unless something radical changes. But I'm listening to a lot of Abraham Hicks at the moment, and this is what the angels are asking me to say at the moment, say right now, is that if we look at the world the way it is, we're never going to be able to reach far enough to get the changes that we need. So often being creative and inventing new things is about thinking completely outside the box. So it's about not seeing the world as it really is, or as it is in our reality, shall we say it like that, so the 3D world, but imagining what is possible and what would help us going forward. So the goddess of the sacred path, and they're really emphasizing the words sacred path, because it feels as though I'm very aware that each and every one of us that is alive at this time is specifically alive at this time for a reason. It feels like a really big privilege to me because of all the changes that are happening, and because, you know, there are no certainties in life. That's definitely true, but it definitely feels like I was supposed to be here right now with my personality and my message, and I'm sure that's true for absolutely every other human being on the planet right now. Even when I don't agree with them, even when I think they're odious, even when they totally disagree with me, they are all playing a part in this co-creation that we call life. And so the angels are asking me to say that the sacred path is the path that we, mankind, but also individuals, so the collective as well as the individuals, have agreed to walk upon. And it does mean leaving behind what we know. There's a huge emphasis on letting go of the past and moving into the future. And the future is going to look very different, I think, to what we are used to. And that requires a leap of faith. It requires that we really come out of the denial. We seem to be in collective denial about what's happening to the planet, and we make some changes. What makes me so happy is all the young people who are inventing things that clean up plastic, and organisations all over the planet that are cleaning up plastics from the ocean, planting trees, setting up community gardens. There's so much good in the world, so much good in the world, and it's about focusing on that and allowing that to bring forward what is coming in the future. So I can't show you this one, but it's called Goddess of Awakening. This is a wondrous time of exploration, romance and creativity. So we got that word creative again. So they're telling me that even though this 3D world that we live in is quite terrifying at times, it's quite difficult to watch all the pain and the torture and the horror that's out there. Sometimes it can be too much. But they're asking us again not to look at what is, but to go into our minds and create something much more beautiful. What's that wonderful book by the writer Charles Eisenstein, who I was blessed to be able to interview one time? It was amazing. He's such an amazing man. The more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. And I think that was about 3 or 4 books ago. I mean, he is a prolific writer. But he is one of the change makers, or one of the people that is thinking his way into a different world. And this Goddess of Awakening is... So what she's telling me is it would be really simple and comfortable to carry on as we are and not make any changes and not wake up to the changes that we have to make to the detriment of all. I mean... Often I think, what good can I do? What difference can one person make? But actually then you see someone like Greta Thunberg and you think, wow, she's amazing. So she's a goddess of awakening. She really is making it uncomfortable to stay in the denial. I think she really has started to... There's a tsunami of change. I admire her so much. And there are so many other people like that if you look for them. And when you wake up from the asleepness that we seem to be suffering from, because there's, we've been sold a reality by the media and the news that keeps us in fear, keeps us asleep, keeps us unaware of what's actually going on in the world and the power struggles that are happening between the real people and the 1% that rule the planet and so on. And I feel that, we are being asked very clearly to stop looking over there and to start bringing something forward from within ourselves, which is altogether more beautiful. If you follow my videos at all, you'll know my absolute words are collaboration and cooperation and working in community, because I think something very different is going to happen. I read the other day that the UK had 5 months of alternate free, wind power or solar power, which is a miracle. Probably 2 years ago, I'm not sure that would have been possible, but now there is a change and we are looking to much more renewable energy and things. My biggest tenet is first do no harm, and I think we all know that gas and coal and plastic and petrol and all these things may well have got us the most comfortable lifestyle that we've ever had in the West, but they have come at a great, great cost. I didn't mean to get on my soapbox. I seem to be doing that, but that's what they want me to say. So the Goddess Awakening is to encourage you, if you are still asleep, to start questioning the reality that you can see in front of you. But those of us that have been on the journey for quite some time, to stop reacting to what's going on outside of me, because actually I have no control over that, and to start imagining a much better life, a much better treatment of the planet, a much more collaborative, communicative, if that's a word, time which is coming. It just feels that it's coming. And in two of the cards we've had the word creative. So no, we haven't, I made that up. In the first one it was all about artistry, so that's creating, but in the third one it was about creating. So I feel that the power that we have that we don't realise that we have is really powerful. Strong, powerful, creative energy. It's one of the most powerful energies that we have. So if you are someone who spends your entire day complaining about the way things are, being in fear of how things are, what can you do that's positive and that will give you back your power? So can you write to an MP? Can you clean up your local park? Can you plant some trees? Can you teach some children about growing vegetables? There are so many things that you can do that will help you to feel like you're being part of the solution. I love that. I really love that. And then Goddess of Strength. So week 3 is Goddess of Awakening. So that's about what can you do in order to bring in a much better reality than the one we are looking at right now. And then Goddess of Strength. Stand up for what you believe. You will gain respect by holding your ground. Well, isn't that ironic that comes after week 3? So once you have started imagining in week 3 a better reality and a focus for your own action, stand by your convictions. So, yeah. Wow, that's amazing. So we're being asked to start being counted. Now, I know that it's becoming a worldwide body, but Extinction Rebellion, for example, is a very good example of people that have said enough. I don't want to fight the system from within the system. We're going to do things differently. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go and join Extinction Rebellion. I'm just saying finding your own way within your own life of standing up for what you believe in. So let's take some examples. If you are someone who really cares deeply about refugees, what can you go and do? What can you go and volunteer in a centre? Can you do something to raise awareness? Can you raise some money for some charities that are helping them, for example? So those are all practical things that you can do to start making a difference in the world. And I'm being shown a coin being dropped into the middle of a pool and all the ripple effects. So if every one of us stood up and did something kind that was helpful, then yeah, the world would be a much better place. So if you're drawn to working with children, there's hundreds of ways that you can effectively improve the lives of children. If you are somebody who cares deeply about the environment, find a way that doesn't impact your life. You're not being asked here to give up your life, sell your house, go and live on an island. It's nothing like that. It's just how within your life can you make a difference for the environment? How can you talk to people about their choices and see if you've got some common ground, how can you raise money for charities, for wildlife or the environment or anything like that? So the 4th week in July is a very practical step in order to encourage you to find your inner strength and actively achieve something that will bring you some power. That feels really complete. Wow, I liked that one. So God of the Arts, the artist within you is about to emerge. So that's in week 1 in July 2019. Goddess of the Sacred Path. Let go of logic and trust your intuition. So that's week 2. Goddess of Awakening. This is a wondrous time of exploration, romance and creativity. And then week 4 is Goddess of Strength. Stand up for what you believe. You will gain respect for holding your ground. So that was a little bit longer than they have been, so I hope that's helpful. If you would like a personal reading, if you have any questions about your soulmate, your health, your life purpose, anything like that, please get in touch via spiritualgrowthtools.co.uk. Thank you for watching.